If there's one thing I love in this world, it's drama with little to absolutely no stakes. Drama we can all just come together to point and laugh at, and that's exactly what we're looking at today. With today being about the Dream and Tommyinnit drama. Dream versus Tommyinnit has to by far be the most low stakes drama I have seen in a while. Essentially, Dream said something dumb, he got made fun of for saying something dumb, he made a cringe video. And I know the current popular narrative is that Tommy good, Dream bad. My view is I don't care and I'm gonna make fun of both sides because this entire thing is funny as shit. Essentially, this drama mainly started from Dream calling Tommy and his fans retards, to which Twitter hopped all over this. Now, as a neurodivergent myself, I couldn't give two fucks about people saying retard, and I don't think most others do too. Yet Dream has gone on record in the past to say he would never use this word, hence why people called it out. Now, to preface this, Tommy and its fans are mostly kids, whereas Dream's fans are mostly weirdos. Now, both YouTubers have made videos which vary in quality, as well as other YouTubers coming out and saying their thoughts and other things on the situation. We're gonna go through this and just point and laugh at all the funny shit. Let's start with Tommy's video first. The start of the video is just grandstanding about the word retard.
Talk about you calling all my fans the arsler. You can't throw around the arsler, mate. You just can't.
Like I said, I don't care about. But he makes it sound like Dream said the N-word when in reality this isn't really serious at all. Now Tommy goes on to address him and his friends continuing to call Dream a pedo. He doesn't even really respond to it and honestly just shifts everything away to George Not Found.
In your stream you slagged off a lot of my pals. Come on, mate. I mean, my friends are all idiots, but they have bloody good hearts. However, with your group, I cannot believe how the George stuff from a year ago went down.
But, I mean, if Tommy and his friends are calling Dream a pedo, regardless of why they're doing it, it's kind of fucked. Now, Tommy kind of talks for a while about shit that isn't really that important, but he eventually talks about how Dream and his friends harassed Tommy's mom.
You harassed my mum as she was going through a divorce, the worst time of her life. You tried to harm the relationship between me and my mum. And if we weren't best friends, with the shit that you were saying, you probably could have really harmed that, mate. You are like a proper movie villain.
Now, Tommy in this video never provided anything to corroborate this. He never provided anything on Twitter to corroborate this. I haven't really seen anything to corroborate this, except for one message Dream sent to Tommy's mom in 2023. It's just one message that specifically has Dream saying he doesn't want Tommy's mom to be attacked. Sorry, that's not really harassment, man. He ends the video off by promoting his book, comedy tour, and quoting Spider-Man, of all things.
But fucking hell, man. With great power comes great responsibility. And you just don't ever seem to take responsibility for your actions. Figure your shit out, man, because how you behave right now is just not going to cut it.
With that, Tommy's video is done. Now let's go over Dream's video. Dream's video features his Minecraft character that jumps around and mimics what he says. Now this video is insane, to put it lightly. He starts the video off by apologizing for saying which, I mean, whatever, man, I don't give a shit. He also goes on to say that Tommy has spread lies about him for the better part of a year and that no one should lie about anyone. Yeah, true, but this will also be ironic in a little bit. Finally get to the part about Dream and how he treats women. There's not really a lot to back this up, just testimony from a lot of people, which, I mean, doesn't really set anything in stone.
This whole thing is true, right? This happened. Someone came up to me and they told me this. And I kept this to myself. I've never brought this up publicly. I feel fine bringing it up publicly now because Dream brought it up. Dream, after I said this, sent me back like 5 pages worth of information about the situation, defending himself, messages from the person he called a whore, and explaining the situation, right? All of those messages were about a different girl. I never answered him. I never replied. Because I was like, brother, that's not even who I was talking about. So apparently you've come into this situation now more than one time. I'm definitely not making the video. Moved on with my life. And by the way, still not making the video. Don't give a shit. Good luck. Okay? My recommendation, keep your head down, make good content. That's it.
Dream brings up how Tommy made a video where he tried to interview both Sapnap and George, and then Dream says,
So there's 2 options. Either 1, they're not bad people, or 2, you don't care enough to not profit off of them.
Even if Tommy is profiting off them, who gives a shit? I mean, to be fair, this is coming from a drama channel, but I see no problem with Tommy profiting off people he thinks are bad. Dream brings up how Tommy was a Logan fan, but went on to not like him or some shit. I don't really care. It doesn't really do anything. I mean, Tommy made a Forest joke, which is funny.
He has booked another flight to Japan.
Now, we get around to talking about merch. Dream says that all of his merch is homegrown. It's all homemade, made with love. But he says Tommy's merch is made with child labor. And he flashes up a bunch of photos of children in sweatshops.
Tommy went with a merch company that actually had some really cool designs, with some very hardworking child laborers to make it possible.
This is so fucking crazy. Another thing he does is he says that the same company Tommy worked for scammed a bunch of his viewers and throws up a bunch of PayPal invoices. However, neither of these invoices have literally anything to do with the situation. In fact, another YouTuber actually proved that these are for a car and a house.
You'll see.
That company also scammed a bunch of his viewers.
This invoice here for a rental property in Blue Jay Way, Los Angeles, California, for 7 nights, coming to $25,000. I also paid for that. And you can see this property on Rightmove, and if you go back to 2021 and look at my VODs on my VODs channel, you can see me streaming from this property. I paid for that.
Now, he edits Tommy's face into a CoffeeZilla video, very shittily, I might add, and talks about how CoffeeZilla investigated this company Tommy and, many other influencers worked for. But to be honest, this is kind of like creators who worked with Honey. I mean, just because they worked with a shit brand does not mean they are responsible for what said brand did. I mean, I'm sure when Tommy and others worked with them, there wasn't a clause that said must be okay with child labor. Now, if child labor wasn't enough, Dream also alleges that Tommy had an editor sweatshop.
I'm sure Tommy can knock out videos pretty quick because at one point he had a literal editor sweatshop where his editors made less than minimum wage.
After that claim was made, a lot of Tommy's former editors came out to refute this claim. Apparently, Dream even cut out some of the context of these screenshots.
The screenshot of his timeline showing the full uncropped messages. So he did crop out the he didn't, but this is undeniable, irrefutable evidence that in the timeline you can see these exact messages. This image here is exactly this image here. You can tell by the little red TV pixels. It is exactly this image here. You can see how disingenuous he is from his own video making, where he has cropped out the part where Larry said he didn't. Like getting Tommy Stans to do cuts and something for him, but he didn't. He chose to crop that out, and you know he did because in their own video he said, I edit all my own videos. Here is a screenshot that he has cropped and in the timeline being caught red-handed with the original screenshot.
And with that, that's essentially all from Dream's video. Now, another YouTuber, Tubbo, watched both Tommy and Dream's videos and even had a 3-hour conversation with Dream. I'm not going to sit through that fucking train wreck, but I will throw up a clip I found about the stream.
Tubbo, you just said that you know of an instance of this company using child labor.
Yes, I know of a one-off instance.
Okay, Tubbo,
okay,
that's enough for me in this instance where how are you disputing what the video is saying?
I know the situation around that incident, and I know it's a separate facility to the ones that you're referencing where Tom's merch was manufactured. But you don't, because you don't have the full context, and you've put it in your video like you do, and you know that no one can legally talk about this. In the CoffeeZilla video, you reference, CoffeeZilla says how no creator can talk about this. And he reached out for comment, and no one can comment. And now, you have brought this up, knowing that no one can defend themselves, because no one can talk about it.
Tubbo, defend themselves from what? I'm not... Okay,
from you accusing them of using child labor, Dream. What do you mean defend them from what?
This whole situation, honestly, is just fucking so funny. And it gets funnier anytime either of these people make any type of content about it. And I'm sure as long as they keep going, it's going to only get funnier. With that, that's essentially the end of the video. I don't know, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, and I don't know, subscribe. It would be pretty cool. Anyway, later.